Hey there, Angular folks, it's Brian. Angular just deprecated the old animations module, so how do we still do advanced motion? Today, I'll show you some of the modern toolkit, the new enter and leave primitives, plus real CSS. We'll build clean enter-leave animations, chain effects in sequence, animate list items, and finish with a stagger effect, all without the legacy DSL. All right, let's check it out. Here's the basic app that we'll be using in this tutorial. We have this Show Product button. When we click it, a product card appears. Then, when we click the button again, it disappears instantly. No animations yet, so this is a perfect starting point for this example. Let's take a look at the HTML for this product display component here. Okay, the first thing we see is this button here that toggles this show signal when clicked. Then, below this button, we conditionally show the product card based on this signal. So this is what's controlling the display of the product card in the browser. Now, let's use the new animation primitives to add some animations to this component in a modern Angular way. Since this component is being added and removed from the DOM, we need to handle the enter and leave states for this animation. For this, we'll use the new animate primitives that were added in Angular version 20.2. First, we'll add the enter state. Then we need to pass it the class that we want during this phase. Let's go with fade slide in. Then we need to add the leave state. Let's give it a class of fade slide out. These attributes don't run any JavaScript. Angular just adds the class at the right time. Fade slide in on insert and fade slide out on removal. Angular then waits for the CSS animation to finish before removing the element, super important for clean exit animations. Now, when using these new animation primitives, we add the animations in CSS. So let's switch over to the style sheet for this component and add them. First, let's add a keyframe animation for our fade slide in enter animation. We'll start with an opacity of 0 and with it translated down a little bit. Then it'll end up with an opacity of 1 to make it visible, and it will translate to its normal position. Next, we just need to add our fade slide in class. Within this, we can use the animation property to run our new fade slide in keyframe animation. And we'll run it over a 1-second duration with an easing function of ease out. Okay, now let's do the same for the leave animation. But we don't need to add keyframes for this. Instead, we can just run the enter animation in reverse. To do this, let's add our fade slide out selector. Then we can add the animation with the animation property here too. We'll go with the same 1-second duration and an ease and easing function this time. Then, in order to run in reverse, we just need to add the reverse animation direction property for this. Okay, at this point, we should have a fully functioning enter and leave animation, so let's save and see. Okay, let's click the button. Nice. The item animated in nicely now, and then when we click to remove it, it animates smoothly back out the way it came in. Pretty cool. So this used to require the old animations module with the enter and leave aliases, but not in modern Angular. We want to get rid of that animations module if we can. So this is cool, right? But we used to be able to pretty easily chain animations when using the old library because everything just ran in sequence. So how can we do this now? Well, since it's all pretty much just CSS, this is pretty easy. Let's open up the template again. Here, I'm going to change these class names. Let's go with enter chain and leave chain. There. Okay, now let's switch back to the CSS. This time, we're going to compose 2 animations for both the enter and leave. For the enter, let's first create a fade-in animation. We'll start with an opacity of 0, and we'll start translated out to the right 50%. Then we'll end up in the default position with the default opacity of 1. Okay, that's the first animation. Now let's add another called pop-in. For this one, we'll start scaled out a little. Then at 50%, we'll scale up a little larger than the final size. And then at the end, we'll scale to the normal value. Okay, so first we want to run our fade in animation. Then when it finishes, we'll run our pop in animation. So to do this, let's first add our new enterchain class. Then we'll use the animation property again to use our new fade in animation. Let's go with a 1 second duration again and an easing function of ease out. Okay, so that will run our first animation. Now we can add as many animations as we want here. We just separate them with a comma. So let's add our pop-in animation. We'll go with a duration of 750 milliseconds for this one, and we'll go with an easing function of ease out. So now both animations would run on enter, but they would run simultaneously. We don't want that, but fortunately, we're in luck. With CSS animations, we can add a delay to postpone the start of an animation, so let's add a 1 second delay here. This will make it so that this pop-in won't run until the fade-in animation is done. Now, there's one more thing we need to add here. Since this animation starts out scaled down, if we did nothing here, it would be rendered at its default scale of 1 during the delay while the first animation runs. Then it would snap to the scaled down version when its animation starts. We can fix this by providing an animation fill mode. In this case, we'll go with a value of backwards, which essentially just tells the browser to apply the styles applied during the first keyframe before it starts. So, stacking animations like this is how we can chain animations in modern Angular. Now, let's add the reverse for the leave animation. Let's add the leave chain selector. Then we'll use the animation property to add our animations. This time, we'll add the pop-in animation first, and we'll need to add an animation fill mode of forwards this time to retain the last keyframe while the second animation completes. And we'll need to run it in a reverse direction. Then we need to add the fade in animation, and we'll need to run it in reverse too. So now, Angular will wait for the longest animation to finish before it removes the element. Okay, that should be it. Let's save and see. Let's click the button. Boom! Now we have multiple layers to these animations. Pretty cool stuff. And if you need more steps, just add another animation with an appropriate delay. Think of it like Lego bricks. You can kind of do whatever you want here. Now, what about animating lists? Is there anything cool we can do? Well, actually, there is. First, let's open up our main root component and add a product list to the view. We'll hide our product display, and then we can add in this product list component. Okay, let's save and see what this component looks like. Let's click the button to toggle some products. Okay, so there are several items that just appear and disappear instantly when we click the button. Let's look at the template for this list component now. Okay, here we've got a button to toggle a show signal again. Then below this button, we have a list of products that are conditionally rendered based on that show signal. So again, these product components are entering and leaving the DOM, so we can animate them the same way. First, let's add the enter state. Let's use a class of Stagger in. And then let's add the leave state with a class of Stagger out. Okay, now let's switch to the CSS and add some animations for this. Let's start by adding a keyframe animation named fade up. It'll start with an opacity of 0, and we'll translate it down a little bit to start 2. Then we'll end up in the default position with the default opacity of 1. Okay, then let's add the Stagger in selector. Then let's use the animation property again to add this animation with a 2-second duration and an ease out timing function. Also, we'll add an animation fill mode of both this time to make sure that we cover both the period before and after the animation runs with the appropriate visible keyframe. Okay, now let's add the leave animation. And for this, we need to make sure to run it in reverse. Okay, let's save this and see how it works. Nice. The items animate in and out now. But it would be cooler if they were staggered as they enter and leave, right? Let's do it. First, let's switch to the component template. Okay, let's use style binding to add another custom property here for our index value so that we can use this in CSS calculations. This will set a unique value for each item in the list. Okay, now let's switch back to the CSS. Now, on the enter animation, let's add an animation delay. We'll use the calc function and our new index custom property to delay the animation by 150 milliseconds. So now item 0 starts immediately, item 1 waits 150 milliseconds, item 2 waits 300 milliseconds, and so on. Then we need to add this exact same delay to the leave animation. There. Okay, let's save and see how this looks now. Much better. Now the list animates more dynamically, which just feels better. Animations should communicate change, not just decorate it. With the new enter and leave primitives, Angular handles the when. With CSS, you design the how. Today, we learned how to add a simple enter-leave animation, chained multiple steps with delays, and staggered a list using one dynamic CSS variable. If this was helpful, hit like so more Angular devs can find it, and subscribe for more hidden Angular gems. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.